that I'm sure. You're not sure. You're guessing. You're reaching hard, far. I'm sure they were just angry. They were just too drunk. I think they had a little too much to drink. And, well, they had it rough when they were a kid. Their parents weren't very good people to them. And, well, a lot of stress today. People are just kind of not being friendly to them and nice to them. So they kind of lost it. I would be angry too. I mean, just you see what I'm saying? Yeah, I know someone like this that does this all day. But your question, you have sympathy, but my sympathy makes people angry when they see you do that. You don't want to lose my compassion. And so all that matters, okay? All that matters, Victoria, not what people think, not what you're doing, not people, it doesn't matter. Or what I think. All that matters is how you feel about it. Victoria, is it causing a problem for you? Your friends could say, oh, I don't like that, I don't do that. Are they saying, I see it causing problems for you? Because that might be something we need to look at if it's causing you problems. If you've got 10 people in your house right now that none of them have a job and none of them help clean up and they're all, yeah, and we're excusing, you got different excuses for all 10 of them why they're in the place they are, but nothing's ever being changed or fixed, then yeah, there's a problem, okay, right? But you don't want to lose your compassion, and please don't. Compassion for others is beautiful, beautiful. What a beautiful human quality that not everybody has. Most people have empathy, but not everybody has compassion. Having compassion for somebody who hurt you is wise, emotionally intelligent and wise. To be able to see that, to remove yourself out of a stressful, painful situation and be able to look at it objectively and say, this person is suffering and hurting inside. That's why they're hurting others. That's what I do for you guys all the time. I try to explain to you what people are doing and why, and I can only do that with compassion. If I did it with judgment, it would look a lot different, like some other YouTube channels. It's a great quality, Victoria. All that matters is how you feel about it. What is how you feel about what you're doing, okay? So if it's causing you your problems in life, maybe you want to take a look at that. That's a good suggestion. Is that what your friends are saying? Why don't you comment down below and let me know. Keep asking, okay? Thanks, Victoria. But don't lose compassion for other people. And especially if you have compassion for other people, have some for yourself, okay? Okay, G, sure. I don't know where you're from. Tell us your locations if you can, guys, please. Thanks. I had COVID since, I had COVID once in January 2020 before it started again a few months back. It only made me lose my sense of smell and taste, but it messed me up psychologically, I think he's trying to say. I can't concentrate for very long, lose my train of thought in seconds. I lost interest in things I once loved. I left the Narcissist a couple years ago. Got it last year. I was so sick for 4 weeks. I thought I was dying. So I was going through that and didn't even know what it was on record. Then I had all these symptoms and I have lost my breath and sometimes feel like I can't catch my breath. It comes and goes, but I was going through the Narcissist thing and it was fresh. And could it be a combination of both? You've said the C word so many times, I can't read it in the videos. We're all censored here. Okay, so you're experiencing, you got the C19 last year, but you're also suffering from recovering from a narcissistic abusive relationship. And you want to know if the symptoms that you have could be this or that or both. And all I can tell you is it could be, because for one, I'm not a doctor. So this is grounds that I get really weird about stepping on, walking on. And so the catching my breath comes and goes, stuff like this. That could be the virus, but I don't know. The thing is suffering from trauma, recovering from trauma like you are, it does a lot of these things. And the memory, the focus, concentration, attention span, big time affected. I think ADHD in children is why they're being emotionally neglected. Totally. Not all, but I think it's a majority. because there's just so many. And just so many of my clients who have been emotionally neglected their whole life have ADHD. I mean, it's just amazing. It really just steps up that neurosis. So a lot of the symptoms you're experiencing could be both. I would recommend you go to a doctor if you're suffering from the virus. But I also really recommend you see a psychologist, a therapist, a counselor, a life coach, somebody to help you heal from your emotional trauma. There are things you can do and things you can take for better memory, concentration, and focus. I recommend these all the time in the videos. But please keep asking me questions. I'm sorry I can't answer this more thoroughly for you. I really can't. But a lot of those symptoms could be both. Could be one, could be the other, could be both. Because you've experienced both. You've had the virus and you've been emotionally traumatized. That's what I think you're saying. It's hard for me to differentiate which one it's from, but it could be both. Yeah. Thank you. Emily, tell us where you're from, guys. Let us know your locations. Thanks. Thank you for your videos and the time you take to make them. It really helps. Thank you, Emily. You're welcome. I've been experiencing symptoms that I don't know if it falls under CPSD or something else. I have trouble expressing and naming and understanding my emotions. It feels like I can't exteriorly express emotions and anger even when I feel them inside. Gaslighting has made me doubt my reality. I have trouble deciding what to order at restaurants. I've noticed that I don't get enough sleep. It gets worse. Yeah, that sounds like CPSD, but it could be something else. I would go to a doctor, right? It could be all kinds of different things not working right. These are CPSD symptoms for sure. What's more important is, Emily, it sounds like you were emotionally neglected as a child and your autonomy, you never had autonomy. So you don't really know yourself that well. Major part of who we are our emotions, what our body's doing, how we feel. Major. And a very common symptom of somebody who doesn't have a very stable sense of who they are, doesn't know how they feel about things. They can't answer it. They don't know. I'll give my clients a questionnaire about themselves, and the people who have less stable sense of who they are at the time will have a much harder time answering the questions. People who have a very stable sense of who they are, it's done. Here you go. And you can give it to that same test every week, and they're going to answer exactly the same every week. We lose who we are in relationships with narcissists. There's no room for who we are. I've been answering this today throughout the whole video, really. People that discard you for somebody else, right? People that throw you away and just go right to somebody else and compare you and say, oh, they're better. These are people that do not value who you are inside, your true authentic self. They don't emotionally connect with people. You, I'm sure, Emily, were raised by narcissistic parents. Not calling them narcissists, they're just narcissistic. They didn't focus on who you are. They had you focus on who they are. Here's who you are. How you feel, what you want, what you need, what you value, and your opinion. This should be all that matters to parents, the child's. Narcissistic parents make sure that all that matters to the child is them, their needs, their wants, their feelings, you see? And so you haven't been able to focus and form your true authentic self, but none of that might even be very true, but let's say the relationship you were just in with a narcissist. There's no room for you, Emily. Here's a question to ask for all of you, to ask yourself this. If somebody says they love you, right? Do they care about how you feel all the time, or do they hurt you? Do they hurt you and not apologize? Or do they hurt you, apologize, but keep doing it again? Then they don't care about how you feel. They don't care about that part of you. They might love you, but not that part of you. Do they care about what you need, your emotional needs, your autonomy, privacy, your security, always let you know that they're there for you? Or was security a little rocky and they brought up other women or men in the relationships, cheated on you, lied to you? They didn't care about that part of you. How about what you want? Did they give you everything you wanted and asked and remembered? If they didn't care about that part of you. And if you value, here's what you value. Did they value the same things you value? Because that's the only way to really care, right? If you care about honesty, integrity, and respect, and they don't at all, they're lying, they have no integrity, they hate people, then they can't really care about what you value. They don't care about those things, do they? No, don't care. All that's left is your opinion. I don't know how much they cared about that. Probably not much. And if they don't really love you. They don't really care about you. It's something to ask yourself and see. And so here you are left, Emily, after a relationship where you've kind of compromised who you are. You've kind of sacrificed who you are. You've thrown yourself away. You've kind of stayed quiet and didn't express yourself. All these things. And we've lost a sense of who we are. And now we don't know how we feel. You may not know exactly what you value. You probably don't know what you need. That's what I'm saying. Learn these things. Okay? You can hire someone to help you do that. Thank you, Emily. And tell us where you are next time. Okay, this is very long here. Marie from the West Coast. Hi, Marie. I may not read your whole question. Hi, David. Thank you for your videos. They've been a lot of help. Recently, I backslid and got into a neglectful, unhealthy relationship after recovering for 5 years from another one. You're upfront and tried to set boundaries, but fell back into bad patterns. You've been seeing each other for 2 years. He only comes over to your place every once in a while. You've never been to his place. In 2 years, you've never been to a place. He only comes to yours. You've never been anywhere outside of your place, except to get coffee one time. Something's wrong. But what's more important is we don't judge. You didn't like it, right? You weren't happy. It didn't feel good. It's not what you wanted. So here we are sacrificing, compromising who we are. What I was just telling the last person. So as you're compromising who you are and not expressing what you want, that's what you're going to get to here. He texts you a lot, though. Several times a day. And it's only about him. What does that sound like, everyone? No, there. He lives hundreds of miles away. You've known each other from many years ago through mutual friends that you're still very close to. Is he still close to them? I bet not. When I express my feelings to him, he gives me vague, generic answers, gets defensive, and I end up feeling ashamed for saying anything, like I'm wanting too much. Yeah, he doesn't care about who you are. He doesn't care about what you want. Doesn't care. Right? He doesn't ask you how you feel. Doesn't talk about you. Doesn't ask you questions. Want to get to know you. And so as we express ourselves, it's kind of complaining. It's like, I always use my little alarm clock here as a reference. It's like this thing going, David, wait, you've been leaving me alone too much. Where have you been? You've been with another alarm clock? And I'm like, dude, shut up. It's like, when you express your feelings to him, he gives you vague, generic answers. You want too much. So you stopped expressing your feelings and you wait around for him to come through town to see you. LOL. Not funny. Sad. Sad to see somebody completely compromise who they are. Sacrifice, numb who they are to be with somebody else. Ouch. Harsh. He talks about other women a lot, but says he's not interested in them. That's somebody who doesn't know themselves. I never wear white, and I love my long hair. See how it's the same thing. Talks about other women, but I'm not interested in them. But hey, Lisa. I hate Lisa. No, I don't like Lisa. Lisa. It's like the person that's been stalking me for 3.5 years. I'm not obsessed with you. He even sent you a photo of one of the women he talks about, but he's not interested in her. I'm so sorry. That must have felt really bad. He also kept saying her name in his sleep. You thought maybe he was fake sleeping, trying to hurt my feelings on purpose. Wouldn't doubt that, but he got mad at you when you brought it up. Then he accused you of lying about it. You just don't want to hear about other women, period. No security in your relationship at all. Total neglect. You could go on with other events that happen that suck, but I won't. I'm sure you have plenty. At a certain point, it becomes shameful. Here you got the rest of it is right here. This is it. You're feeling like my world turned upside down yet over nothing. Feeling like I ruined whatever I didn't have. Perhaps I could have worded it different to him rather than sounding pathetic and lonely. Expressing your feelings and asking for what you want is not pathetic. It's not lonely. It's healthy. And you got shut down for it. My question is what is the first thing I can do to get back on the road of recovery immediately? I have thoughts I did something wrong. Well, I'm not going to tell you didn't do anything wrong, but anything he did to you isn't something you did wrong. No, something he did wrong. It's so important. I mean, it's the very first thing you got to tell somebody coming out of an abusive, traumatic relationship. The first thing, you got to grab them and just, it's not your fault. You didn't do it. They did it to you. And they did it to you not because you're a bad person. We need to understand this. In the beginning of it, I kind of just went over the gist. There's three basic things we've got to do. And I've already said, I'll just say it again, I guess, but we've got to talk to somebody. We've got to socialize, not isolate. And we got to be creative and exercise, okay? Right away. Get help, guys. Get help. I have a lot of people on here saying, I can't find help. There's nobody that understands this. I do. I understand it. I help people, and I'm taking clients. If you're interested, daviddemars.com. Thank you. But there is help out there. I've I know of great therapists and counselors that know all about this in the United Kingdom, in the West Coast of the United States, the East Coast, the South Coast, Canada, parts of Europe. I know them. I don't know who they are, but I have other clients that tell me they have great therapists, and other people tell me they exist. And if we believe we're worthy of something we need so much, we'll find them. We'll utilize what we can. But there is help out there, and you got to find it. You're worthy of it. Please do. It's just the most important. It's not like, yeah, I know I got to do that, but, I'd rather just take a pill. Well, a lot of people want to be a doctor without having to go to school. It's not going to happen. I'm sorry, Marie. It's good that you got out of the relationship because it was feeling so bad. Because you didn't get what you need and wanted. And you started, and please, never do that again. Compromised yourself. You put someone else before your needs. You put their needs before yours. You put what they wanted before what you wanted. You concerned yourself about his feelings instead of yours. And not only that, he didn't want any of that stuff either. Out. Ask yourself what's left, right? Using you. Sex, adoration, makes him feel better. Whatever it is, that's all he cared about. And that's all he cares about with the next person, okay? Barbara from Phoenix. Hello, Barbara. My narcissistic husband said he is divorcing me in 2 months. That is after years of hot and cold. I want you, I don't want you. He moved me across the country away from anyone I know, screwed my credit, took a lot of my money over time, has abused me in every way, cheated, and just when he promised therapy and a real chance at a fresh start, he did a complete 180 and is leaving. Throwing all the guilt and shame onto me, refusing to acknowledge his part of his promises. I will be close to broke and homeless and heartbroken. I had hope. We have no assets or children. I need help. I'm so sorry, Barbara. If you need help, find it. Get it. Please, you do need help. We all need help in our lives at some time. None of us really know anything. We need help. And you do, Barbara. Please find it, please. Please, you're worthy of it. You're worthy of whatever, however much help you need and want and get. You're worthy of that. As far as what you want me to do for you right now, right here, I just tell you I'm sorry. I'm guessing that you don't really know who he is. You're just learning now. Would it matter? Here's a question. He was cheating on you, screwed your credit, used you for money, lying to you, all this stuff. And you said, but we were going to go fix it in therapy and counseling. Is that possible with anybody on the planet? That's just a question to think about, Barbara. If he, no matter who that person was, if both of you wanted to work it out, would have therapy worked? Just a question to think about. My answer would be no. It does matter who the person is. And this person can't work it out. What you mean by work it out is him to be who you want him to be, and he's not. He's somebody else. And the sooner that we can accept that, the sooner we realize that we don't want this relationship anymore, that it wasn't going anywhere. And if he goes with somebody else, that's fine. I don't want him. It's not working out with us. But I think that maybe you were thinking that you know him. That you know him and that he is a lot like you, and he really does value the things that you value, and feels the same way about things, same opinion, has the same needs. No, totally different than you, completely 100% different than you. Doesn't value what you value, doesn't have the same needs, wants, feelings, doesn't care. Man, this is the theme for today, discard, huh? I think a lot of people have been discarded lately. It seems that there's patterns like that throughout the year, I've noticed. This hot and cold, up and down, is what creates dependency, and it makes the discard and the end of the relationship so much more devastating. So much more. We have no serotonin, no dopamine, no oxytocin. All of our endorphins are just gone. So find out what you can do to raise those. I talk about how to in a lot of my videos. That will help you right away. Okay? Get help, Barbara. You said it yourself that you need it. Aren't you worthy of what you need? It's not even a want, it's a need. Good luck. Hi from the United Kingdom. Lisa. Hi, Lisa. Thank you for your videos. They really help. Thank you for telling me. My narc father has died. I'm sorry. I was non-contact for 2 years. I feel guilty, but my reasons for non-contact were sound. He died a lonely death in the hospital. He sabotaged our relationship and forced me to abandon him for my own mental health. I was easily replaceable. My anger is extreme, and I have very hard time to control rage and stress. This differs from when my beloved mother died. I yearned for her. Why am I so angry and guilty and feeling no yearning? Not just different people, different relationships, yeah? So a major part of relationships, we have to have our emotional needs met. We have to have emotional connection. My guess, with just knowing this, is your father, and you probably did not have emotional connection. Okay? And I mean, massive neglect. So your father probably wasn't involved in your life enough. Your father probably wasn't a father and showed you enough direction. He may have neglected you and abused you. And so here we didn't get what we needed as a child. And until we give it to ourselves, we look somewhere else for it. And we can keep seeking our father's validation and approval, things like this, because we feel rejected for not getting what we want. It's kind of subconscious. And in that narcissistic parenting, they make it real certain that you understand that you are there for them. That everything you do, for me, it's like this. It's like if I'm narcissistic dad and you're the child, and I say everything you do for me, which is do what I say, smile even if you're not happy because I want that, do your chores and don't complain, these kinds of things, right? Be who I want you to be, and that's a good girl. Good girl. Do anything for yourself is selfish, bad, and wrong. So you didn't get to fully develop your own self, and so here we might be glad that dad's dead. If that's how you feel, that's how you feel. Try to accept that. But if we don't accept ourselves, we feel glad and happy someone's dead. We feel relieved that our dad's dead. And then I feel ashamed and guilty for feeling that way. Oh my God, that's awful. Why do I feel this way? You do. You just do. Understand how you feel. Express it. Where did it come from? Is there something you can do about it? Try to make yourself feel better, okay? I'm still sorry for your loss, and it's still loss. Okay, and we might be angry at dad. We may hate dad. We may never gotten anything we needed from dad. But now that he died, that relationship is over. It's loss, and we're gonna grieve. Okay, and if we just tell ourselves, "Oh, I don't care. I didn't care about him. I know he's my dad, but I hate him. He didn't give me what I needed. Screw him." You might have other feelings, real underlining feelings that may stay open forever. It causes depression. And when someone leaves after abusing us, causes anger. And then we feel guilty for these things. Feel guilty. And now you're no longer there for him, which he taught you to be, probably, right? Can't tell you much more without knowing much more. Feel free to keep asking me more, Lisa, okay? Thank you. And I'm still sorry for your loss. Keep processing through that, okay? And that's it, guys. That's the end of the Q&As. Thank you very, very much. Great questions. I hope the answers made sense. Please let me know if they didn't, or if they did, tell me. And please keep asking questions, everybody. One specific, really good way to heal from this stuff is to understand it. It causes so much guilt and shame, and if we really understand it, a lot of that stuff goes away. We can start accepting it and feeling better about it, okay? Thanks, everybody. Keep asking questions. I'll see you next week. Get better sleep. Love yourself first. Bye-bye.